Different setup. We are live right now. So once again, we're back again. The #1 small business funding and strategy. Man, I messed that up. The #1 small business funding and strategy show is back again for another video today on this Thursday. I'm here with my brothers. JD, I got you at the bottom first, and then we'll go up top to Tavante. It's funny how this Zoom thing works.
People.
Today, we're going to talk about the failures or the troubles that you have when you're starting a business. And, you know, how you guys doing today?
I'm feeling pretty good. How about you?
Man, I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. I'm geeked up about this topic. You know, just discussing it and hearing it go through my head, those failures, those troubles, those things that you don't know or you don't plan for that occur. It just gets you every time. So today, I want to talk about mine. So I'll kick it off first, right? So as you all know, I own an appliance repair business, and in this business, it's basically transactions. You have somebody that goes out to someone's home, they look at the appliance and assess what's wrong with it. The customer is providing an estimate, and they choose whether or not they want to buy a new one or get it fixed. And that transaction happens when they want to get it fixed, and they leave and they go to the next place. So I tell you what happens if they don't have a vehicle for them to get around. Your cash flow stops. And that's exactly what happened to one of my vehicles. And it's not the first time. I've got the catalytic converter cut out. So they stole my catalytic converter. They did it 6 months ago in another van. They did another one in, as a matter of fact, I didn't tell you this. This is my brand new van that I just got. I barely got the plates on the thing. I haven't even logoed it yet. They stole the catalytic converter to the tune of 5 G's. Yeah. So how can you plan for something like that? $5,000 gone, and you got to get it fixed. Because if you don't get it fixed, there's no money coming in.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, you basically losing money every day that truck's not on the road.
Exactly. And it happens all too well. You know, we're getting in there, we're making a few thousand a day, going along, we're paying off expenses, and then bam, you get hit with this big expense out of the blue. That can kill most businesses.
Very true.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, Marcus. So, with having this happen to you 6 months ago, what did you put in any fail safes to protect you going forward?
Honestly, it's really nothing that you can do. So I stopped parking them in one spot. So we had them parked in one spot. So that was eliminated, and they had started taking them home. So I thought, okay, if you keep them at your house, then it's less likely for them to get broken into, as opposed to just having some vans sitting in the parking lot.
Right.
At the office. Obviously, that didn't work, but they're looking into like parking lots. Maybe we can park them in a parking lot, get paid. But I've heard here in the news that they're hitting parking lots and dealerships.
Yeah.
So again,
that's like the new crackhead hustle.
Yeah.
Taking the catalytic converter.
Crazy.
Yeah, and that's one thing. And what I was telling everybody was in the office, it's like, okay, if they get one van, that's okay, because they could have all been together, and they could have shut down the whole business.
That's a good point. So let me ask, so with this, like you said, I think with every business, there are going to be times. There's going to be things like, perfect example, COVID-19 was something nobody planned for. No matter what you did, you couldn't plan for a pandemic. What do you think are some best practices that potential new business owners can put in place to protect themselves? Is it discipline? Is it petty cash? What's going to be the biggest thing that they can work on protecting themselves? So if they run into something like this, they can A, be prepared to still move and be functional, but then B, maybe they need to learn how to pivot. They need to change how their business, how they are doing business or what they're selling. Like, what are some things that you learned throughout the times that you've been building your businesses?
It's only a couple of things, really. You want to, one, I look at the cash flow. So when you're doing a budget for your business and looking at your profitability, you want to make sure, one, that you can pay yourself, that you can pay your employees, that you have some profit left, right? So when you're budgeting out, expanding, buying more vehicles, tools, equipment, etc., you want to budget, more than what the actual cost of it is, right? So you take, for this example, I paid, $17,000, $18,000 for this van. But in my budget, I budget 30% on top of that. So I had enough money to be able to cover a little bit. I would expect $5,000 worth, but I coupled that with my business credit because I have business lines that are readily available for these type of scenarios to be able to swipe the card.
Gotcha.
So paying the $5,000 to get the van back running as quickly as possible to generate more cash is way more important than me waiting for my insurance to kick in to reimburse me. Because if I got to wait from them, and I tell you, the big thing is when I had the first one happen, it took them like 3 weeks for them to call me back.
Wow.
So I couldn't imagine being out 3 weeks plus the time to get it to be fixed. I would have been up a creek. So
right. I like that. Dang, I like that. So before you even got started, you had your budget for the car, but then added on the extra 30%. So you were ready to cut anything that happened within those first few months of you having your business going. You already had that budgeted into your expenses. That's very smart. That's discipline right there. That's very smart. Dang. Okay. So
it's all about the budgeting, the projections, things of that nature. Because if you don't do that part up front, especially if you're doing a business you've never done it before, or we talk about having mentors before, but a mentor, it can only take you so far down the line. They can tell you to be ready. It's like if you own a trucking business, you have semis, 18-wheelers out there, you want to make sure not only do you have enough money to pay for your truck, and you have your maintenance account set up so you can go get the maintenance done. You want to invest in your truck for the most commonly used parts to have them sitting in the trailer so you can reduce your breakdowns by having it available and not waiting for an order. So it breaks down, it takes it to the shop, it goes against your maintenance card. They already got the most commonly used parts, put it on, and you can be right back on the road. It's a similar thing. So just thinking, okay, what could happen, then budget that.
I like that. Yeah. Like, so it kind of goes, having the mentor can help guide you towards understanding what your budget should look like, especially when you get into a business you have no idea what you're getting into.
None.
Gotcha. Okay. So how about you, Vontae? You run anything like that?
Well, no, I was gonna say, along with his example, I mean, I do have an example. I'm gonna just kind of bounce off his too. But the whole idea of pivoting, I like that. You're talking about just, like you said already, JD, having in mind what it's gonna be. The focus, of course, is getting back to business as soon as possible, and not having anything keep you. Because when you're obviously not doing business, you're not making any money. But the bills they're not slowing down. They still coming in.
It's like a water hose.
And the funny thing about I had something similar to happen in my vehicle. So non-emergency medical transportation is key because people who are riding with me, I'm transporting to dialysis or doctor's appointments, they're very heat sensitive. So it's very crucial that I be able to control the atmosphere with AC or heating. And it's hot outside, and what chooses to go out? My AC. AC compressor, AC compressor goes out, and I'm like, okay, I go get it replaced. And sometimes when you get things like that fixed, you get it fixed thinking like, okay, you swap a part out, but there's other things that happen along the way that make things worse, right? So metal shavings in the AC compressor get sent throughout the system. Now the new one is on, but now the metal shavings are causing pressure, and the system would cause the new compressor to shut down. Eventually, the old compressor goes bad. I mean, the new one hasn't been on, that one goes bad too. So today, what I spent time doing was I was in the shop getting a new compressor and taking my old compressor I just bought 2 months ago back to the shop. So one thing that does help is having that extra business line that Mark talked about. That helps a whole lot. Having that in place because you don't want to spend time. For me, it's definitely about having the access to funds. Definitely about that because that makes things a whole lot easier and faster. But it's also like my mindset. I just don't want to be pissed off. Like I don't like being angry. You know, I'm a very jovial, happy guy. I'm a peace-loving, meditating, vegetarian eating. I like feeling good, and I don't like being stressed out. And I definitely don't like having interactions with professionals where I'm pissed off. Right. And if you're tight on funds, if you're really, in a position where you're trying to get your business going and things like this happen, it could take a mental toll on you, if you let it. I tend to be quiet, I call a good friend that I can talk to that's not gonna push me over the edge, they'll remind me of what's going on. Maybe your mentor, and you call your mentor and you say, hey, this is going on. But they talk you off the ledge and they say, hey, no big deal, you're okay. Help keep that perspective, right? I know this thing is happening, but this is not the end of the world. Your business is still going good, especially when you're starting off new and you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't have your feet under you yet. You don't have the confidence yet, to be like, okay, this is no big deal. I've been here before, it'll be over with and we'll move on. Sometimes you're like really looking for those pieces of evidence to give you confidence. Sometimes they're not there. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for that win to say, oh, I'm doing a good job. But you got to say I'm doing a good job even when things look really shitty. You got to be that person to say, things are good. I know it don't look that great, but I'm gonna keep moving forward. And like Marcus said earlier, it's a thing of if this happens, do I pause? And sometimes when things like that take your breath away like that, you may want to pause. But no, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. Because, and you got to find that positive mindset to say, okay, this is going to work out. And maybe this is helping me towards, learn something I did not know in this process so I can avoid it in the future. Or it's just building that resilience that I just know this business is going to go well.
That's huge. That's a good one, man. I think the points you're making is basically like you. And I'm kind of the same way. I don't like to carry around negative energy, be angry, ready to throw stuff, all that. It's very unproductive for me. So I like to stay in a good space. And it can be hard, man, when you're faced with an issue that you didn't plan on coming, an issue that you're not sure how to deal with. And when you're starting off something new, your funds aren't what you want them to be normally when you're starting. So now you're facing the pressure of, like you said, the bills don't stop coming. The bill collector they need all their money, and now you're dealing with this with your business, whatever it is that you're building, and it's putting doubt in your head. Yeah, it's putting doubt in your head on, can I do this? Am I successful? Can I make this happen? And if you aren't mentally strong enough, or you don't have someone you can lean on to say, hey, no, this is okay. I went through something similar as an example, and this is just what you need to do. If you don't have somebody like that you can lean on, it can definitely not just slow down your business, but halt your business. It could stop your whole thing. So, I think that's huge how you put that, like just learning to just look, it sounds like you're doing a good job of looking inward and saying, okay, I'm learning something from this. This is going to prepare me for something else later. And I think that's the magic right there.
Right. If it's nothing more than in that moment, I'm learning to like keep my calm. Like keeping your calm is like huge. You know, it's like one of the persons I listened to, her name is Abraham Hicks. I don't know if you ever heard of her, but Law of Attraction. But she talks about the idea that things are happening, and if they're happening to you, it's not evidence that of your fragileness. It's not evidence of your failure. It's actually evidence of your invincibility. Things like that are happening, and you're still standing. It's evidence that nothing is going bad. It's evidence that everything is going good. And that just blows my mind. I'm like, you know what? Like that $5,000 you spent, Marcus. That $5,000 you spent, it didn't hurt you. It put a pause, like maybe it's like 5 minutes. Okay, I gotta swipe this card. But that shows that you've done a great job preparing your finances and planning, and you're invincible. Like that just makes my skin tingle just thinking about that. Invincible.
That's fire. I'm not gonna lie, that's fire, because it's hard to wrap your head around that when you're going through it.
Yeah. But I think you can learn to tap into that power early on. Why, golly, you truly, that's for real. You can really be invincible. You can really be unstoppable if you can just grasp that and literally just flip in your brain. Because most people don't look at that. Most people are very reactive to problems and situations. If you can look at that, a situation like that, and flip it on his head and say, "Oh, dude, this just proves that I'm doing what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. I got this. This is nothing. This comes with the territory." Ooh, I like that.
As long as you don't die. As long as you don't stop. You're invincible. It's that easy. Just don't stop.
Wake up in heaven like, all right, I guess I wasn't invincible.
But yeah, no, you're right. Just knowing it's coming, understanding. And I think I got a lot of benefits from the appliance conference I went to a couple of weeks ago. And one of the topics was managing the vehicles. And, throughout the whole discussion, your vans are going to break. So what are you going to do? How are you going to react? So that was one of my takeaways. And then bam.
Bang.
So, but yeah, now stuff is going to happen, man. Stuff is going to happen, but be prepared. But more importantly, right, you do it proactively, because, say for instance, I had to go look for the money now. Under stress, things may not be in order. So because I proactively go out every 3 to 6 months and increase my credit lines, I've got no worries.
Yeah.
I've got no worries. So
Got you.
Again, I don't want to be spending $5,000 every week.
Of course not. Of course. You know how many ads that is?
Man, I don't know. I was even discussing like, okay, if he put it on for $5,000 and then we take it to the shop and have them cut it out, and we just keep it in the garage and put it. They can't steal it if it ain't there.
I got you.
I don't know. It's got to be a better solution for that. But more importantly, you have to be able to fund your business correctly and be ready to go. Look out. No matter what we talk about, somehow, some way, it comes back to the money.
Right.
And definitely, I know over the last couple of weeks, talking with a lot of people and looking at where they are, they don't know, and that's okay, because we can serve kind of like your mentors.
Yeah.
Every Thursday. And 5:30 if I remember to join the call on time.
Hey, you got a lot on your mind right now. You good? You good?
Tell me about it. But yeah, definitely. Any more you guys want to add? I can definitely go on.
So what were you saying, Marcus?
I was gonna say because I can definitely go on. You know, I 2 months ago had a guy just leave, no call, no show.
You know, I think, but did you ever just like laugh at this crap? Like, you know, I go through periods where I think it's okay. Like, you know, you obviously like, hey, what the hell am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Then you just, you know, well, look, forget it. Just laugh at it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just a part. It's a part of doing business. You're dealing with people, humans. You know, it's what it is.
I think kind of going to something like how Tavante tapped into just flipping your mindset. I think you just gotta. A lot of us have a bad habit when you are starting a business, you're trying to pursue something, like you're growing something, entrepreneurship especially. Everyone has a huge habit of focusing on the end point.
Yes.
They focus on the flat. They focus on the big bank account, the trips to Cancun, you know, the nice jewelry, the clothes, all the flashes. You plan for all this, but you don't plan for all the headaches and all the issues that come along with this. And I think that's a big one. Is just like Tavante said earlier, when you are coming into these problems, and you're gonna run into some problems, especially early on. Understand that it doesn't mean that you aren't meant for this. It doesn't mean that you're on the wrong path. It doesn't mean that you suck. It just means that you're taking the right steps to run a business. You're running into things that happen when you run a business. It's like being mad at the sky raining in October and November. Like, it just comes with, it's what it does. It's part of it. That's how the world takes care of itself. Like, it has to rain. And guess what? For your business to work well, it has to rain. And it's gonna rain on you sometimes. Sometimes it's gonna be a heavy rain, sometimes it's gonna be a light rain, but you gotta be prepared for that weather.
Man, I got plenty of water, man. That was plenty of water right there.
I think sometimes it's cool to watch things happen, and then, like, I don't know if you've heard this happen in you know, you guys' business, JD, Marcus, where you get a call about something, and it's almost like a precursor to something happening, and you kind of catch it before it happens, and you kind of see it happen, but it's like you keep it frustrated in that moment, like before it's happening, but you got the precursor, and then it happens. You know, it's like the AC in my car going, okay, I could have had it happen when a client was in the vehicle, right? And that'd have probably been a shot to my business credentials, or my reputation, or, you know, my goal is to run a professional business. I want to have a pleasant experience when my people could get in my vehicle, right? So if that happened and it's an old lady, she's 80 years old, or worse off, she has health issues and the heat exacerbates her health issues. You know, I would rather it happen beforehand, it happened during that period, you know?
Right. No, I totally agree. And like I said, that takes a mindset shift. I've had that happen where, you know, getting ready to meet a client for the first time or whatnot, you know, or knowing I have an appointment scheduled later in the day, and then boom, get a flat tire.
Yep.
You know, like suited and booted, but you know, like it may. I remember that happened one time. Literally a few hours before my appointment, I stopped at another office. Boom, got a flat tire. I was pissed, but thank God it happened when it did, because I was able to get somebody out to change tire before my appointment. So, like you said, like you may get frustrated in the moment. You may not realize that problem that you had, the timing that it happened, was actually a blessing versus a curse.
Yeah.
You know, you may not even see the reflection of that until later on, when you, like you said, you're doing something like Tavante, you be picking up a different person or a different client, and they're like, yeah, I can't be out in the heat too long because you just got the AC fixed. You just got the AC fixed. So it makes sense. I think that's a big one, just accepting everything that comes with it. The success along with the problems. They go hand in hand. But just if the more contingencies you can have in place to be ready for those problems, the less stress and headaches you'll have down the road. Yeah. You'll keep your business, keep yourself moving if you're ready for that.
Yeah, I got another topic too, and you guys can jump in on this one too. When it comes to starting a new business, I think when you're new to the business, what you're trying to do is you're trying to establish this rapport off the bat, right? You're trying to capture a piece of the market. You're trying to get people to know your name, know what kind of quality of service you bring to the table, right? And I think, so in my business, rather, starting off, I thought my time would be 9 to 5. I thought, okay, people are going to their doctor's appointments, whatever, therapy appointments, whatever. 9 to 5 is going to be my schedule. And you know what? I'm gonna make so much money. I'm only gonna work Monday through Friday. I'm gonna make so much money. I'm only gonna work Monday. I'm not working no damn Saturdays and Sundays. I'm not doing it, right? And then what happens? Devontae, broker says, hey, you guys are doing great, but if you want to make more money, you probably need to open up your schedule. And I'm like, damn it, they're right. I need to open my schedule. I need to be like, actually, my schedule now, what my schedule is 4 a.m. to 12 a.m. 4 a.m. to 11:59, 8 p.m. That's my schedule now.
Yo.
And this is what happened. So initially I was like thinking it's gonna be this. Then I'm like, no, I gotta be flexible. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know how to be that flexible. As a matter of fact, I'm working Saturdays and Sundays too. I said I won't do that. And the thing is thinking about like the clarity you get by thinking about what you want to do in the business. Like what's your priority for your business? My priority right now is cash flow. Cash flow. I want to be the cash flow enough that I'm not worried about expenses, that the money's flowing in so heavy that the expenses are just like bumps in the road. Like I'm driving a Ferrari. And I'm going so fast, momentum's going so fast, and the cash is flowing up so fast, I don't even look at a bill and think that it's a big deal. That's what I was. Okay. And so with that, I had to talk to my relations person and figure out, okay, well, people you're working with, you can talk to them and figure out, well, what are the niches? What are the areas that you guys need more support in? I found out there are a lot of transports that happen around 10, 11 o'clock that nobody wants to cover except Uber. That's a niche I'm going to work on. Also, the early mornings. That's a niche I want to cover. There's certain times people don't want to go in certain areas. That's what I'm going to be doing. So all those things that people don't want to do, guess who's going to be doing it? I will.
Gotcha.
Why? Because I know that's going to bring the money. That's
you won't
I want the cash flow.
Yes.
I want the cash flow. And I know if I do it that way, I won't have to worry about competition. But see, when you're trying to go do what everybody's doing and you group together in a group, now you have to deal with the competition, pushing and trying to do things in a certain way. But if you just go where nobody wants to go, it's most likely you're not going to have any competition. Very little.
That's smart. That's smart.
And then, then maybe later on, I'll get so good, they'll just know who I am, and I'll just be able to use my, my reputation to say, hey, I think I would like to have this, and I actually want this rate for it.
Gotcha. No, that's more damn.
Jim.
Yeah, for real. I think that's hard for a lot of people to wrap their heads around too. Like, yeah, it ain't gonna start off as smooth as you want it to.
No.
You ain't gonna.
No.
That's the usually the cool thing with having a 9 to 5 is it's 9 to 5. Like you in that place 9 to 5. They give you a set amount of stuff to do. You do those things. You go home. You release that. You start your own business, you won't call time. You the fixer of everything. Like you have to plan all of those things out. And if there's a problem, there's unless you're big enough to be able to staff, even if you do have a staff, you're still the person making decisions on how we're going to handle these problems.
Yeah.
So like you said, starting off, be ready. You putting in 60-hour weeks, putting in 80-hour weeks, because it's all on you. But I know at the end of the day, it's worth it. It's worth it. It ain't for everybody, but for those that can find that discipline, it's definitely worth it, man.
100%.
Man.
And I don't think it means you got to do it forever. That's why I was initially concerned about. I said, okay, well, I'm getting standing orders, which are consistent drives, like every day of the week, someone's going to dialysis, right? Which is a good thing because it's consistent money, right? But most of them are like Saturday, Sunday, 6 a.m., 5 a.m. And it's not that I didn't want to do it. I thought, man, who's going to do that after me? And then I thought about, well, I'm just going to find that person who's going to do it, you know? So initially, yeah, it will be me. But then when I hire the person, it's going to be clear. Can you work these hours? This is the span of time I need you to work. Can you do that? If not, there's like 6 billion people on the planet. I'm going to find somebody who wants to do that.
Yep.
You'll find somebody that not only want to do it, but enjoy doing
it. They'll love doing it. Maybe it's an old grandma who said, baby, I just want to work early morning. I get my coffee at 4 a.m. and I want to be home by 12 o'clock. Okay, grandma, we can do that.
Yep.
Come and work for me.
I got a perfect position for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Yeah. All right, little closing again for today's topic, guys. Again, I think we had a good conversation. There's going to be failures that come up along the way doing your business ventures. Be prepared. Have proper budgeting, have proper funding, and don't get discouraged. Have a strong mentality and understand that it's going to rain. I like that. I like what you said, JD. It's going to rain. So enjoy the rain, embrace the rain, because that makes you stronger. It makes you grow. It helps you grow. So, hey, once again, fellas, see you next week. Have a good one. And then we're going to be back again with the #1 business funding and strategy show on Thursdays, Facebook Live, soon to be YouTube. Peace.
Peace.